Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Kimbo here, and it is time for another epic Bakugan Evolutions episode review. So we got episode number 6 here. I've actually got my Sheikah hoodie on for this one because Zelda fan, you already know, man. And plus, like the different modes, getting in a different zone. Yeah, feel like I get in an extra zone when I even have this hoodie on for sure. It's epic, but yeah. So getting into this episode, this review might not be too long because it's pretty like straightforward with it, But yeah, anyway, so uh this episode's still really, really solid. Like all of them so far going forward. Like there's so much story going in with each one, man. They're going with the pace big time. So with this one, they're back at the academy, and basically the brawlers come back. But by the time they come back, Athena has not only mastered like power mode, she's mastered speed mode as well. Like this, yeah, the speed mode, the speed evo. She's mastered both speed and power, plus her nanogun and such. But yeah, but not only her, a bunch of other brawlers have also learned how to use like the speed mode and the power mode. So like Riot, even Chad, like a bunch of different brawlers have learned how to do it. Basically, Magnus says this by the time they get back. Like while you were all off playing, Athena got stronger and learned how to use both modes, even to the point where she's helped instruct as well. So like how the professors and teachers have been instructing and such. They're like, she's gained that much power. And she's like, yeah, I could teach you if you'd like. And then everybody's like, yeah, I'm down for it, except for Dan. Dan's like, no, I'll teach them how to do it. So then he goes and tries to teach all the brawlers how to use, go into speed mode. But then Dan could only use power mode. And then, yeah, he could only really get into the power form. But yeah, he couldn't get into speed mode. And whenever he called for he called for power mode one time, and then it went to speed mode. So it's the exact opposite. But Leah saw there wasn't gonna be much like trying to learn from Dan because Dan hasn't mastered it. Just being real, he hasn't. You could tell they're not protecting Dan, man. Like I know it's like series like this, like oh hey, they're gonna protect the protagonist, but especially with the season, they're not protecting Dan. We've seen that with how they've done this reboot. They haven't always protected Dan. The moments we thought that he was gonna win or finally get the win, like nah, man, he goes down. And especially with this season, like yeah, it's kind of like how with the original series, how the Battle Brawlers, this was the season where they were really starting to fluctuate and such. And then Dan ended up going off by himself and such. It's a season where like that close bond that we thought they all had wasn't as close. But yeah, they fixed it over time. But right now we're seeing that a little bit with Dan because he's struggling, man. And the other brawlers are kind of wanted to go towards Athena for like guidance and training and stuff. Well, Leah did, and then Leah sat and trained with her, and then like the other brawlers found out. Well, Dan was the only one that was upset, but then Athena said she didn't learn anything from you, and told him that straight up. Like Athena is no BS whatsoever, just saying it like straight up. She wouldn't have learned from you, and she wasn't able to learn from you because you haven't even mastered it. But then all the other brawlers wanted to train with Athena, and then Dan's like, no, like I can do it. Like basically, feel like kind of getting an ego big time, feeling his ego, honestly, because Dan's got one. Because Magnus told it like how Magnus has both speed and power mode, and said that he couldn't really do it, and he had to learn more. Like, and he wanted to prove to Magnus that he could do it by training the other brawlers, like he said he was gonna do. But then Dan's like, I heard that. Ajit was the one that was saying that. And then Athena's just like, you're childish. You're being really childish right now. There's more at stake with this, and you're letting ego get in the way, basically. She told him that straight up. So they had a battle. With the first brawl, they both sent out their nanogun, and it was a tie. The first battle was a tie, and everybody's like, that was intense. But then Leah and Magnus picked up that it wasn't really a tie, that they realized that Athena was going easy on him. Because if she would have evoed, it could have been over. It could have been over, but she didn't end it off right there. And then Magnus said she's gonna probably evolve at the same time that Dan Kuzo evolves, so that she could show the true difference in their powers. And then, sure enough, she evolved to speed mode. He evolved and tried to use speed, but it was power mode. And then, sure enough, with the power, like got overwhelmed with the speed and went down. And the agreement was, if Dan lost, he could never interrupt her training again. Her teaching her training again. And Dan he took it on the chin. He took it on the chin at least somewhat. He was still upset, he was down like, because Leah went and started training with her again, and then Dan said, I swear, and I promise to all of you, I'm going to show all of you I can learn both these modes. Speed and power mode, I will get them down. Then you can tell they're all down. Like Dan, yeah, they like you would think that there's like extra protection around like a protagonist and such. They're showing even with Dan Kuzo, there ain't that protection, man. He's getting whooped. He's been getting whooped in the last few battles. He's been doing pretty well with some of them, but when it comes like these battles and such in the university, he's been getting whooped big time. Yeah, slowly getting stronger, but like he's got to get over his ego and such, and just really figure out how to do it, man, and really be willing to like learn. That's the main thing, man. Learning, it's about like learning, making them stronger. It's how the others were able to train and get stronger and such, and even be able to go out into an actual zone, which is a segue into the next episode. But yeah, it's showing they're definitely not protecting Dan big time. Like it might be Dan Kuzo, but still he's like every other brawler. He could lose, and especially at this stage, like he hasn't mastered speed mode even, and that's big, man. Drago's got the form, and he's made the form, but he has not mastered it and can't get that form at will. So he's still got some work to do. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, it shows they're not putting like the special little protection around like a protagonist or such. Like, nah, they're making Dan go through it the hard way, like everybody else went through it the hard way. It's how it goes. Like even going to like a school, like you got to make your own way through, man. You know, no protection or anything. But yeah, overall, I'm digging it, man. They're going with different conventions here, especially with like Dan being the one that's on the big time struggling end right now, for sure, man. Like he's the one that's on the big time struggling end. Our boy, our protagonist, Dan Kuzo. Yeah, because the others are willing to learn, and Dan is the one that's kind of hesitant, because obviously like the competitive nature with him and Athena are so much alike, but because of that, they had but like that, like crazy. But yeah. Anyways, getting into the next episode, they start off at the lunch table, all sitting there talking, and then Leah's off, also with the gym instructor, doing some training. They're going and about to go do some training, and they're all sitting there wondering, I wonder what they're sitting and talking about. Well, another elemental storm kind of whipped up and caused a frenzy with a Bakugan. So they went to a little zone, kind of like the testing area. So they have different levels. So there's like level 1, level 2, level 3. And if they get too crazy, then having backup there. But with the another elemental storm appeared, and the Bakugan's name is Goril. Goril kind of looks like a freaking. It kind of looks similar to like Kloptor's, not Kloptor. It looks like similar to Apollyon's design because it has 2 drills on its hands and such, like kind of the swords, except it doesn't have the shield or such. It's a similar design to yeah, the Kloptor. Well, not Kloptor, Apollyon. Yeah, really similar to Apollyon. Yeah, I'm thinking of Kloptor Apollyon, like the fusion. Like even the fusion, it's like a similar kind of design with it. But yeah, instead of having like the shield, it just has like unless it is like an Apollyon. And if so, like they need to make a figure for it. Like Gorilla, whatever the heck its name is. It's another Bakugan we haven't seen an actual figure for, and I hope they do make it. Who knows? Maybe they'll do like the I call it the Scorpios effect because we saw Scorpios at the beginning of the first season, but didn't see an actual release for it till the end. Maybe the Scorpios effect with it, where we see it at the end of the season. Who knows? But I hope they make it. I really like a lot of the Bakugan that we see in the show. Really want them to make them actual figures if we haven't seen them before. The Gorilla has a cool design, no doubt. But yeah, so they're sitting there facing Gorilla, who's corrupted with his power from the elemental storm, and basically the other brawlers weren't allowed to go. Like they said, like only those who have mastered speed and power mode can go. So Leah was the only one. Athena vouched for Leah. So Leah was able to go out there, and they kind of trained together. But then the power became too much because in the middle of it, they were sending out Pegatrix and Blitzfox, and they were battling. But then the actual brawler himself got infected with the power of the elemental storm. Like he got infected, and then he was sitting there smiling, like, heh. So it's definitely like a maniacal kind of negative evil power for sure. Like something behind the storms. The question is, we're gonna find out more and more with that as it goes along. But yeah, and then the power goes crazy, like on a crazy level. And the gym teacher was there, Faustus was there. Yeah, like Marlowe, Faustus was there as well. And they canceled it. They're like, this simulation, this is over. And so they launch out. Then they go with like power mode first. And Faustus has a new Pokemon not Pokemon Jeepers. I'm thinking of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Bakugan, Beyblade, all of them in my head, my ADHD. But he's got a new Bakugan, and the Bakugan's Wrath. Wrath is one of the ones that we've heard is like a rumor, and also there was apparently like a listing for it before, and we wondered like Wrath. Like I heard that name before. Wrath. Faustus owns Wrath, and Wrath looks really cool, man. The name Wrath. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, because his name's Wrath. And Faustus, how his demeanor was before, like, I don't know, man. Like his, yeah, and his name's Wrath. It's also made me think like Faustus might switch at some point. It just depends, like when are we gonna get to that point? That's when I'm starting to think I still don't trust him. I still don't fully trust him, just how he is. You know, he's fascinated by the power of the elemental storms too much. It might just be me, but yeah, I don't fully trust that man. But anyways, yeah, he has Wrath, a really new Bakugan, and it's kind of like a Panther type of design Bakugan. It looks really sick, dude. Like a Panther cheetah kind of. You could tell this thing is fast as truck boy, but it has some serious power with it. But then they decided we can't take it out with power mode. We got to go at the speed with this in order to beat it, you know. And then he goes to speed. He shows off power mode and he shows off speed mode. So if we get like speed and power mode in different forms for Wrath, that'll be really cool, man. Because that's a sick, sick design. It looks really, really awesome. But yeah. And then they get it low on power. Wrath takes it out, and they're all sitting there like he's so fast, you know. And also Dan and the other brawlers showed up, even though they weren't supposed to. They were like, "You really think we're gonna sit this out, even though you told us to?" Like they were just going against the rules. It was hilarious. But they were sitting there watching. There wasn't much that they could do. Drago went in with power, like power mode for a bit, but then just got shut down because like he became too quick. And then speed mode, that's when you know, Faustus sent out Wrath, and then with Wrath, got it worn down in power, and then it was actually Athena and Leah that finished off the battle. So then, you know, Blitz Fox and Pegatrix both going out there, both in their speed mode. Leah was able to get speed mode. So Leah's the first one that's able to use like speed mode effectively with Pegatrix, and she mastered it. So yeah, and that's just learning from Athena, you know, learning from the teachers and such instead of being stubborn. You know, you know, Dan's just being really stubborn right now, letting his pride get in the way big time. But you know, at the end of the day, it's of course about learning your own style, but also just get those teachings, man. It helps make your what's the best way of saying it? It helps you create the base for whatever strategy you've got, you know, getting those teachings and such, and then it's about like just how you interpret them, finding your own style, your own way of doing things, and then going forward with your style. You know what I mean? Using what you learned, and then also creating your own way of doing things, and then just going forward with it. How it goes in general with anything, like with anybody doing their craft, even like YouTube, and for best example, like my style, other people's styles and such. You know, everybody having their own styles. You know, there's so many life lessons that they just teach and show with this, man. But yeah. Anyways, with that, Leah and Athena managed to beat Gorilla. You know, that Bakugan, which I still hope they make a design for Gorilla. But once they had beaten Gorilla, the power went away from the brawler, and then he was exhausted. You know, he was like, "Where's Gorilla?" You know, and Dan went and checked on him, but he's like, he's safe, he's okay. Like Leah said that, and they were just all impressed with like Faustus's power, and plus considering how much power this man has, he's the headmaster, so you know he's probably the strongest brawler that there is at the current moment. Yeah, and they just showed that with this, like his levels. Well, Magnus was even sitting back watching. He's like, I want to see just how fast he is, you know, talking about Wrath, you know. But yeah, even like it's like Magnus going into teach and such and gets stronger, but also it seems like Magnus is still a little wary even of Faustus. Because Magnus is that one that sees through all the BS. You know what I mean? He's the one that sees through all of it before anybody else even does. Because that's just how Magnus is, man. I mean, we saw Magnus PI last season. Not the last season, the season before, you know? But, yeah. Like still, man. You know, and plus being Dan's rival, but, you know, he's not going to sugarcoat anything, rival or not. he sees Dan being way behind right now. But yeah, so we're definitely gonna have some focus, I think, on our boy Dan Kuzo to get stronger. But yeah, it's probably gonna be within the next few episodes, I'm guessing. But overall, really, really sick episode. And it ended with a funny moment because the gym teacher was chasing them around. He was chasing them around afterwards. The other brawlers that he said couldn't come, that they said that couldn't come. Afterwards, he was like, after they sat and just talked, like, I can't believe that happened with a brawler too. It seems like everyone is gonna have to start getting into some more extra strong training. But first of all, and then he looks back, they show the gleam in his eye, and then you just see the other brawlers running around. They're like, why don't you listen when we tell you not to come? You came here anyways. And they're like, wow, we just wanted to come and see it. And then he's like, I don't care, we gave you specific instructions, like chasing them around and such. And then you just see them jump up like, help us. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, so the craziest way they could develop this, honestly, is if they have it where all the other awesome brawlers master both, power and speed mode, strength and speed mode. And yeah, and then it's like Dan that would be the last one to really learn it. That would be a wild thing for sure. Like Dan's really sitting there struggling, like everybody else learning how to do it, except for him because he's just being stubborn and not willing to learn. Maybe that would be the way it goes. Who knows, man? Maybe like in the next episode he'll like get speed mode a bit more, but he won't master it. He'll be able to like kind of get it, but not fully control it. You know what I mean? Because it's not just about learning the mode, it's about mastering the mode too. Like mastering the strength mode, mastering the power mode, which seems like Dan's kind of mastered the strength mode, but you still got to master like the speed mode. He's even got to learn the speed mode fully to where he can get it when he wants to, instead of it being like, oh, the other mode. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So overall, liking this development because it's building up the other characters big time, showing how strong they're all getting. And at this point right now, Dan being left in the dust a little bit. But yeah, he's gonna get stronger. Yeah, enough said. He'll get stronger. It's just him. It's either he's gonna learn his own way, or he's actually gonna give in and actually like pay attention to the classes and stuff, because you see him like sleeping in all the classes, and then he wonders why he can't get it because everybody else is sitting there studying, but then he's sleeping, like, But yeah, man. Overall, a really, really good episode. They're really making it where they like Dan has to catch up with everybody else because it's like he's not getting that protagonist treatment. He's having to take the hard road just like how everybody else took the hard road, but they all made it there. And even the awesome brawlers learning at this point. Probably through Athena, maybe the others will learn. And it'll especially be crazy if, like, maybe it'll get to a point where, like, they see how strong Lee is getting, and then it'll be through Athena, they all start training and getting stronger. But yeah, we'll have to see how things go for Dan. It'll be, like, he'll definitely get it because it's a given Drago has the speed mode. But it's the matter of when. Like, will Dan give in? Will he learn it, like, with his own way of learning it, besides, like, Athena's way? Because Dan's pride, both of them are really proud bladers, no doubt about it, man. They're so similar. That's why, like I said, they headbutt so much. But yeah, man, overall, really, really epic episode. Can't wait to see how things are going to develop that much more. And I still do not fully trust Marlo Faustus. From the beginning, I was kind of like, I don't know. Also, if you hear banging, they're working on, the wood stove, fixing that. But yeah, overall, can't wait to see how things are going to go with this. I'm loving the development so far, and again, I don't trust Marlo. He's the one I don't trust out of all of them. Like Marlo and Wagner, that's the name of the guy that's the head of the Gate Crushers. His name's Wagner. I could, like, you see behind the scenes stuff going on with Wagner, and then also Lee and Pegatrix in the middle of the episode talked about how there's another organization out there teaching people how to use elemental brawling. I feel like they're all tying hand in hand. Like maybe Wagner's the one that's behind that or a part of that, but then also like Marlo being kind of, but he's the one that's sitting there the whole time with all these bloods. So that'll be wild if they actually make him turn, but I'm not trusting Marlowe. Definitely not, man. I'm kind of iffy about him. You know what I mean? I don't know if we could fully trust him just because he's the headmaster of the school and he has this much power. Seeing what power does to certain individuals when it comes to Bakugan, man. Look at Gregorius Reed. You know, wealth and power and such. We saw that one the last season. But anyways, guys, overall, really epic episode. Looking forward to the rest, no doubt. But anyways, that's going to do it for this review on Bakugan Evolutions, episode number 6. After this, we got 7. Yeah, you already know. And also, at the time of filming this, some things have arrived. So get ready for some unboxings, some big time hype. But hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and Bakugan Brawl. I'm up out of here.